I was thinking about this today because Santa's all grayed out, right? Like he's fully gray.
Yeah.
From
White?
I assume head to toe. I don't.
Oh, you mean does the carpet match straight?
Yeah, that's what
I bet he's smooth.
He cleans it up before Christmas. He ain't going out there.
Yeah. She likes that.
Man.
Maybe he has like a landing strip.
Oh, Santa.
Who knows? Welcome to another episode of My Mama Told Me,
the podcast where we dive deep into the pockets of black conspiracy theories.
And we finally work to prove that Wakanda Forever is some type of government propaganda wanting to incite the race war. Why are we fighting the Latinos, y'all? I'm David Gborie.
I'm Langston Kerman, and it's a fair question. It really is. It's like two communities, if I'm understanding the film correctly, who equally are like, hey, we fuck with vibranium. We got some cool shit going on. We want to protect our people, and then they just start
somehow they
fighting each other over it.
Yet another movie where the colonizers are let off the hook. Interesting.
Yeah, and it's just one nice white man who keeps trying to help us stop fighting. No, that's not true. Help us win our fight against the Mexicans, I believe is the theme here.
How many movies is it going to take? The third one, when we're fighting the Space Koreans, then you'll all see.
And if you listen to this podcast, you know very well we believe in Space Koreans. Don't you dare for a second start to, we're not sure if David and Langston are on board with Space Koreans. We're aware and we're on board.
God damn it.
I've never been on the other side of the air horn. It is abrasive.
No, it's jarring.
Yeah, no, it's a real upsetting sound when
you ever heard one in real life? It's unpleasant.
Yeah, no,
like an actual like the horn. Yeah. It's not good.
There's a reason they use that to scare off bears.
Yeah, Jamaicans.
Oh, that doesn't scare them off. That gets them closer.
No, they love the chaos.
Yeah, they're really Well, today, for our listeners at home, this is a very special one of our classics, a David and Langston episode, but more specifically, it is our holiday special. This is our big holiday soiree.
Yes, happy whatever you do. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever you into, big dog.
Christmas, Kwanzaa is made up. You know, Hanukkah.
They're all made up.
Yeah,
don't make black people specifically made up. They're all made up. They're all silly little made up things.
Yeah, it's just a reason to buy something for people that you love, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you give some gifts, you get some gifts, you eat in a way that you hope nobody will ever find out about again until next year, and you come back a different person. That's really what it's all about.
I'm going to Hawaii.
Are you? You're going to Hawaii?
Yeah, on the 26th, though.
Oh, okay.
But it's my Christmas. The 26th is bachelor Christmas.
That's how you've always celebrated.
It's like making movies. One for the studios, one for me, baby.
The 25th, that's for your studio. That's just putting up what they need. But goddamn, the 26th, that's where it be at.
25th is a Marvel movie. 26th is an indie erotica.
A24 presents. I love it.
Hey, I'm plus size. I'm 834. Give me the big ones.
Through the blessings of God.
Well, I think we're deep into a David and Langston episode already.
It feels good. Feels good to be here.
We talked, and I think we have a conspiracy theory that both you and I felt excited to as a holiday theme, as a big holiday soiree episode. This felt correct. Our conspiracy theory today, the one that we landed on, was my mama told me
Santa Claus is black.
Yes.
Kick us off. Where you at with this?
See, I've grappled with this.
Oh, okay.
I've grappled with this for years.
Whoa.
We had a black angel on the tree, not to brag.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I got it from my mom for Christmas, like second, third grade.
Oh, you brought this into the home.
Of course it did.
But they supported it. They were like, that is a black angel.
No, this was
We'll
right. He spent his money on it. It can't be bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So as much as I want black Santa Claus to be black, much like I want everyone to be black. Not everyone, just the greats.
Tilda Swinton, guess what?
Yeah.
You be better black.
Kate Blanchett. Put a blanket on it. Arnold Schwarzenegger, not a tough transition.
Come on, man.
It's so European to me. I just don't. It's so European, and I don't.
Santa Claus is so European.
And I've never heard anything or felt anything from black and brown people that makes it seem like Santa would be all that. It just feels like I don't know, man. It just feels like very European that you have to have like a special guy that's gonna make you make you want to be nice to your family for a day.
Oh, that like even the representation, like what Santa represents for you, is such a European thing that you're not at all sold that he might be a black person.
I never thought, like, like I said, I would like it to be. It's the same with the Easter Bunny. I just don't think that's a black guy.
Wait, have you been sitting here wanting the Easter Bunny to be black this whole time?
Like I said, Issa Rae, baby. I'm rooting for everybody black.
I've never once thought about. I've never thought about the racial makeup of my Easter Bunny, and let me understand correctly, because what you're implying is that the Easter Bunny has a black. Not just, I assume you're saying black fur, that the Easter Bunny would have black fur? Or are you saying, nah, he has a black personality?
I'm saying he smokes black and mild. I think that type of...
And he calls them yams.
Yeah.
I got you.
He smokes red wine, black and mild.
Sure. He's the blackest of black. I like the idea that he's still a white Easter Bunny, but he's just got a black outline around his mouth from all the blacks he's been smoking. His fur is just stained black around the rim because
it looks like he got dipped in varnish. But it's just the tobacco resin.
He just won't put them down.
Yeah, it looks like the walls on an old Cadillac. If you smoke in there.
Let's be respectful. If you smoke in there.
If you not, that shit stays clean.
It stays nice.
So
you're not in any way sold on a black Santa Claus.
No, but I think we have to go back to, for both of us, historically, what's your relationship to Santa Claus?
Yeah, I do think that's important. My relationship is a bit of a funny one in that my dad is an atheist, and so like he has always participated in sort of the holiday season, right, because that's what you do and like you are expected to sort of do. But he's an atheist who grew up Jewish and then is like, so like Christmas never really meant anything to him, and then had a kid with a black Christian lady, and she's like, yeah, we're doing Christmas holidays, whatever. And I think he just became a consenting man, being like, all right, yeah, I mean, whatever, I don't give a fuck kind of thing. But he wasn't Santa Clausing and sort of like going out of his way to make this as much of like a ho 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 vibe as he was like playing along inside of a game that he didn't give a fuck about.
Right. Ooh, I can
Yeah,
relate.
he's like, yeah, all right, this is from Santa and stuff, but I'm not.
Yeah, but I paid for it.
Yeah, but no, I mean, he wouldn't even say it, but he's just like, I'm not going to change my handwriting and put out cookies. I'm just
Right, and he wasn't like, go to bed early, Santa's coming.
I mean, if he was, he just was tired of me. It wasn't. It wasn't because he like wanted my heart to stay 3 sizes, larger that day type shit.
He was like, you're going to be out in the world. And you know what the world is about? Labor union.
Yeah. Go to bed, sleepy.
Yeah. Well, you got to wake up. You got to get a good night of rest so you can wake up and work.
Yeah.
Contribute.
Were you fed Santa? Did you have Santa in the home?
Man, not really at all. So my mom's African, so she didn't have it. And she was so young when she got here that I think, because I saw her do it for my little brothers more, who are a lot younger than me. But I think by the time she even knew that it was that big a deal, I was already old enough to have discerned.
Right.
Like, she never, I think sometimes, you know how sometimes you get presents in the mail just from people?
Yeah.
That you know or whatever. Right. Sometimes we'd get some of those and they would be addressed to Santa Claus. Or we'd go to someone else's house and they'd be all the kids got presents from Santa, and it'd be like candy or something like that.
Somebody else in your life was like, these boys need Santa in their lives, and we'll do it.
Or just like you're at somebody else's house, that's their traditions. But my mom never pushed it, and then like we lived in apartments, so the chimney thing was immediately like, well,
yeah, I mean, I will say
what's gonna happen in my apartment?
That was always a conversation for apartment kids, and as someone who grew up in apartments as well, I had those questions, and I did feel like a lot of it was just parents being like, "Oh, the back window or the back door."
Right.
Like it felt like it got addressed. That like Santa was like, "Look, everybody ain't got the means, so."
I never felt like it got addressed properly. Because I never heard him say it, and there was never there's no apartment Christmas movies.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? There's not, and people live in, and I'm not just talking about poor people. What about people who live in New York? There was never any it was all very suburban.
They make it so that the Santa movies are often exactly what the perfect circumstances for Santa to succeed. Whereas, like, there's a bunch of places where it ain't so easy to drop off gifts.
Yeah, and I just, listen, I was a weird kid. I was aware of war. So I felt the same way of Santa that I felt of God. Like, if you have this much power, there's a lot of shit going on you're not really doing anything about.
Right.
And then I don't think I really get down with you if that is the case.
Yeah, you got this high-speed engine attached to reindeer, and you ain't helping to stop the missile crisis.
There is a conflict in West Africa, sir. I don't give a shit about your nice list.
Hey, big dog, you know who else could use your help is Ukraine. They seem to be in need of a gift or two, you know?
Why don't you put some foreign aid in that fucking giant sack you got? You seemingly have unlimited resources for the children of the world, but only worried about them on that day. It just was never,
the sentiment never sat right.
No, I never. And then mix that with my mom. She just didn't care. I don't think she was ever particularly I don't think she ever sat me down and was like, Santa Claus is not real. It was just obvious. But I believed in the Tooth Fairy more than I ever believed in Santa Claus.
Yeah, I definitely was a Tooth Fairy guy.
Me too.
The money was showing up. I couldn't figure out why. It felt pretty straightforward in its delivery.
Also, as a kid, you just assume that you don't sleep. Kids sleep because you know how they go. They just go to the end of the day till they can't go anymore, and then they sleep so hard.
Yeah, they run straight into a sleep wall.
Yeah.
They're face first into a fucking brick sleep wall, and then they're just dead for...
You ever seen a kid in bed? It looks like a crime scene. It's just how they fell on it. So I always...
they truly commit sleep suicide and then wake up the next day like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah.
So like, but in my head, I slept like adults. So I was like, oh, I would for sure notice if someone came in my room and lifted. Meanwhile, this is probably tooth fairy is probably such an easy one to pull. You don't even know. You just pick the pillow up, put the dollar. You know, that kid's fucking dead to the world.
Yeah, and also like people are constantly moving in their sleep. All I need for you is to roll over a little bit, and I drop that bad boy off. And
yeah. And if you have two pillows, I'll put it on the one you weren't under. It just was like so. Like that one always made sense to me, but the other ones, no.
Well, I will say that I did know a fair amount, not a ton, but a couple of black families that did make a point of making Santa black and like being the type of people, like there were parents I remember who like would get upset if like you gave their kid a white doll, or you know what I mean? Like
that makes more sense to me than Black Santa though.
I think for them it was like all this shit's black. Our dolls are black. Our Santas are black. It's that Jeezy song, but you know what I mean?
I'll be goddamn it if my rims ain't too.
Yeah, exactly. I think in this case, it's much more about like, hey, I want you to see black imagery constantly and a reflection of yourself at all times, even if it's not like some shit we truly believe in.
And in like an ultimately positive person. I get that as well, right? Like Santa Claus, there's no stink on him, so it's like, yeah, to have him be black, I could see how that's like a very positive thing. And like I always like it. I always like seeing black Santa Clauses, and I love black Christmas knickknacks. Like, you know, when you go in the house and they have black angels, or there's a picture of that black dreaded Jesus or whatever. I like that stuff. I like that stuff. I think there's more of a case for Jesus being black than Santa Claus.
Whoa, are you a believer that Jesus is black? Is that a thing that
I'm a believer that he probably looked like the other people looked like from that place?
Yeah,
I don't even think that's rocket science. Science is like, yeah, if he's from where all the Arabs are at, he's probably an Arab guy.
Yeah, I've never the Jesus is black argument always felt more like us being like a little bit of like stinkers about the shit.
Yeah.
Like I never fully believed that he was a black man, but I definitely figured he looked somewhere closer to like me than he looks to the current depiction of what Jesus is.
Yeah, I mean the fact that they got away with like a straight white guy is like crazy.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild.
Like I don't even understand it. I don't understand how anybody believed that.
And then to keep it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get how you got away with the shit. You just started putting the flyers out and they caught wind. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Nobody else could read back then. So it's like easy. But now they're still doing it.
we've done it. Like we've traced all the history. We literally, scientists every year come out with like some new depiction of what Jesus probably looked like in, you know, whatever the fuck, 0 AD. Or BC, he'd have to be BC. He'd be dead.
No, I heard recently if you trace the year back, he was born 4 BC.
Okay, hell yeah.
But I think I heard that in a stand-up comedian's joke, so I don't know if that was right.
It's probably not. We're idiots.
No, we don't. We're charlatans.
But that said, we literally see the depictions and then still go to churches where white Jesus proudly hangs on a wall.
And people get white Jesus tattoos and t-shirts, and the Catholic Jesus I feel like is still very white. I don't get it, but I'm down to fight for it. Like I said, I'm down for it. Santa Claus, it never, and maybe it was just like a hill not worth dying on to me, and that's why I've never like gone as far as to feel that like the relevance of like Jesus not being white is so much bigger to me than like Santa is like, I don't know.
You know what the Jesus white thing is for me? You were talking about why we haven't changed it or why it can't be changed. It feels similar to like when everybody got upset with Sonic the Hedgehog. You know what I mean? Where it's like, they put out that movie or a trailer for that movie where Sonic looked weird. And everybody was like, what the fuck did you do to Sonic? Even though we had never seen Sonic. Do you know what I mean?
A hedgehog, to be fair.
It's certainly not a blue one and not one that walks upright.
He's wearing sneakers. What's happening?
But it was like they did a thing and they made a choice. And then we were like, that's not fucking Sonic. Yeah. Even though the motherfucker doesn't exist, we have a thing in our head that just makes him Sonic or not Sonic.
You know what makes me feel, I don't know how I feel about it, but it's like, I dislike Black Sonic. Or I did.
Oh boy!
I like Black Sonic. I dislike Weird Sonic, but I'm fine with Black Spider-Man. That one doesn't bother me, and Spider-Man wasn't black. So,
well, Spider-Man. That's not necessarily true. Our
broke guy from Queens.
Well, yeah, that basically, if you subscribe to the multiverse theory, which is a constant in a lot of Marvel comics and universe, whatever. There are different depictions of a lot of these characters, Black Spider-Man included.
Right.
Whereas,
how come Asian people aren't trying to get on that map?
Oh, they had that one. They had the Asian girl in the Spider-Man movie.
You don't even remember her name.
Yeah, she had the robot. She had the big old spider robot. She was my least favorite.
Yeah. They had Shang-Chi, but that felt like it was a part, not. That felt like separate but equal.
That they just threw them a bone kind of vibe.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, and here's one for you fellas.
Yeah, you guys want to get in there? You want to hit this?
You want to try it? I mean, you can't have too much, but you could try it.
Yeah.
Do you think if you have, let's say you have kids someday, you're building a family, do you see yourself immediately just taking that from them? They're growing up, presumably in Denver, Colorado, where Santa, I think, thrives maybe the most. Like, he's got to be a pretty fucking cool guy. Yeah, it's snowy. It's a lot of people that kind of look like him. I assume your malls are packed with gentlemen auditioning to be Santa this year.
We got regular people malls. We got a Rolex store. Calm down.
No. That's not the world I've imagined.
Yeah, it's not like we have sneaker stores in there. No, I mean, if I had kids, but here's the other thing. Like what you're saying right now, I don't, because of the way that I grew up with it and in dealing with it, I don't necessarily think that it's taking away from that the child's childhood. But that's such like an American notion of like, I'm taking away from you by not giving you this Santa. If I would imagine if I were to have children and I teach them that this holiday is even less about Jesus, because I don't know how hard I would push the Jesus narrative. I think it's more about us being together and loving each other, and we're buying gifts, but we're buying gifts because we love each other and all that type of thing. I don't think the kid's missing out that much by not having this magic dude who doesn't pay any taxes coming in the chimney. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like, well, what are you missing out?
Here's what I'll say to play devil's advocate a little bit. I think it's less of missing out on something in the home and more of the sort of like social standards that are flowing around you, right? That like
they're already black. They're already fighting uphill against that. I don't feel like Santa Claus is the hill to die on.
No, I don't think it has to be the hill to die on, but there is something in training your child to be the one that goes to school and is like, hey, Santa ain't real.
Yeah.
Fuck your traditions.
Also, I smoked a cigarette before.
Yeah, it's like now you're not, now you're that kid. Now you're a fucking you're a bad baby and everybody hates your guts just because your dad was like, hey, I know this is stupid. And it's like, hey, big dog, we all know it's stupid. Pick your stupid.
I guess it would be on my queen then. I guess it would be on whatever the mom would think. Like if she was really, because I'm also not averse to it. Like I'm not the Grinch. You know what I mean? Like I don't want you to I don't hate Christmas or anything that. Sure. Have I had some weird Christmases with some complicated things happen? You know, strippers from Hawaii. Yeah, I've had some weird ones. I have a complicated relationship. I'm not going to, sins of the father, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to pass that down. Yeah. But like, so I guess if I had a kid, it's all on what the mom wants. Me personally, though, I wouldn't need to push it.
I feel that.
Are you pushing it hard?
I'm not pushing it hard, but I'm not anti the whimsy. I think one of the things that I'm sort of discovering in being a new parent is that you want your kid to stay a kid for as long as you possibly can.
Right.
Even like these small little moments of sort of like discovery are so fucking beautiful and charming and fun to watch. It's like, yeah, if you're a little idiot who believes in a big old fat man dropping off gifts, then I'm not gonna steal that from you. I don't want to shove it down your throat, but like that's nice that you're that dumb. So yeah, go ahead. I want to see it. I want to see you be the biggest idiot you've ever been.
So are you buying presents and writing from Santa?
I think we probably will. I think, yeah.
Doesn't that make you mad because you work hard all year?
Listen, I'm not buying very expensive gifts. She's one. Santa could take credit for these.
Yeah, it's like candy.
Yeah, it's like, here's a teething toy for you, my dear. And it's like,
Santa got you a dry erase board for your grocery list. Daddy bought you that car.
Right. Then once you become smart to the shit, that's when I'll really invest.
All right. It just seems like a weird, I also don't love this whole collective tradition of tricking children. Like, we're all in on it.
Oh, sure.
Because I feel like, for me, and I'm weird, I know I'm weird, but for me, that would be my issue with finding out that it wasn't real, is I would definitely be on some, like, you all knew.
Oh, you would take offense to
that. Would be like, oh, I'm like an idiot out here, huh?
Oh, I'm a fool to you.
Yeah, right? I just been dumb to you. I'm a joke. I'm a plaything whose emotions you can just like, none of you care about me.
See,
I'm very sensitive. I'm very sensitive.
Whoa, I didn't take it that personally. I was like, all right, you got me. Good work. I see what you did there.
I see. All right.
Okay.
Ain't gonna happen again.
Right, you ain't gonna give me again. I know Santa's not real. I know the Tooth Fairy only works on weekends. You ain't gonna give me twice.
Yeah, no, I understand now. And now I'm coming back. What do you know about you? How about that?
Yeah, I think what I want is for my kid to stay a kid. And if that means that I just have to play along in to your point, a very European sort of like not harmless fucking shindig, little like ruse, then I'm down for that. You know what I mean?
Are you gonna push a black Santa?
I'll be real with you, man.
No, I love it. You don't have to be that righteous.
Santa white in my head. You know what I mean? When I close my eyes and I picture him, he's never black. He's
not
never
a bowl full of grape jelly.
No.
That shit shakes like a bowl full of strawberry preserves.
Yeah, nah. I close my eyes. That's a white man in a suit.
I understand.
But I was wondering what I even think Santa's hair used to look like before he went gray. And if I'm being honest, it was blonde in my mind.
Really?
Yeah, I've always pictured Santa as truly like this fucking Nordic, Aryan, fat man.
Yeah, I guess I never even thought about young Santa before.
Yeah.
This is fucking me up. I never even went there.
Yeah, you got to get high and just think about young Santa for a little while.
I bet he was fucking so much, and that's why he doesn't have kids now.
I can see that. I think he was buff.
Yeah, he was hot.
I don't think he was like buff like fucking, with the Usher cut type shit. I think he was like
a rounded out.
Yeah, strongest man in the world type buff, where it's like
the Swedes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just big, thick
like he
man.
He could lift a big concrete boulder onto a raised platform.
And he'll do it 6 more times until he's the world champion.
Yeah, like Santa was flipping tires. He wasn't necessarily doing a lot of core work.
Nah, not at all. He could pull a truck with his teeth, though. That's the type of man he is.
And his nipples. He was a freak.
Yo, Santa. But yeah, no, I don't think that's that I'm if I'm being honest, I'd be lying if I said that Santa has been anything but white for me. But I've never, where you were like, I don't see the point of Santa or the need for Santa. I think I've never understood the need for Santa to be black. Like I don't understand how that, other than him just being a good dude, how that would give anybody comfort.
I mean,
in the
it's
world.
it's like false representation. Not false representation, but it's not necessarily representation.
Yeah, I
You
really
know what
want
I
to.
mean?
I think I want to fight for black directors more than I give a fuck about like Black Santa.
Exactly. Like, like Black Santa doesn't. What does that win do?
Yeah, it doesn't. There's no victory in Black Santa. Where
It almost feels like Black Santa would affect white children more than it would affect black children.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it would be white. Like, white people would have to be like, well, they make us presents.
Yeah. Right. That for a white child, that feels like, Santa's got to work on the the holiday.
Yeah.
He can't get the day off. He's got to take care of us.
Let's be honest. The man employs slave labor. It's a lot darker if a black man's doing that to someone else.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more of that Wakanda Forever.
Yo, I love trashing Wakanda Forever.
Someone get this jigaboo away from me.
We're gonna get in trouble for it, but yeah,
It'll be fine.
I fell asleep, so it was boring.
Yeah, it was boring as hell.
That said, I do. That's interesting to think that truly the only people it would benefit to have a Black Santa is little white children, and they're not taking advantage of it. And maybe that's a good way for us to go to this break, is by encouraging you out there, if you are in fact a white person with white children, you should be telling them about a Black Santa, because it is finally your chance to restore the slave mentality that birthed this nation and made you so great in the first place.
Oh, run it back. You weren't the only ones with slaves.
Yeah, come on, dog. Black Santa, you gotta start the journey all over again to get back to where you want to be.
How did all of this trouble begin?
Living in America.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back with more David, more Langston, and more My Mama Told Me.
Because I look good. I smell good. I feel good.
And you sing good.
And make love good.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we're back here with more My Mama Told Me. We're still talking about the possibility that Santa Claus was in fact a black man, secretly or not so secretly. I don't think he was hiding it. He wasn't passing.
No, I don't think so, but I can't tell.
Right.
But yeah, is this covert? Are we coming at this that like this is a conspiracy? Like he was always black and there was like a cover up?
I think that would be the argument, right? Is that, or at least that would be my presumed argument for this, is that Santa Claus began as a black man, as so many men did in this world, and then through whitewashing and history and mixing and matching, we suddenly found ourselves with jolly old Saint Nick, a very white, very non-ethnic man.
Okay, that's all right. I you know what it is? I wish that I cared.
Well, it's good we made it the holiday special then.
No, I mean, I care about black conspiracy. I just wish that I'm not a Christmas guy.
I got you.
That's what it is more. I'm not a Christmas guy. I like a Labor Day barbecue.
Ah.
You know what I mean? I like Memorial Day. I think they bookend the summer nice, but like, yeah, I'm not like.
Yeah, I got you.
But I am down to fight for Black Santa Claus if that is my role on this podcast.
No, you don't have to fight for him. I think, in fact, your role has become fuck that guy pretty clearly. And in that way, maybe I'll fight for Black Santa Claus.
All right.
Here's what's going to happen. And this is a good way for us to transition. I did some research. We'll unpack some of this research. You tell me if any of this sways you in one direction or another.
All right, let's do it.
Hell
Lay it
yes.
on me, because I want to
All right.
hear these facts.
I don't want them to be called facts because the reality is I haven't verified shit. But the information that I've began to gather, so the legend of Santa Claus, or at least what we call Santa Claus, can be traced back to 280 AD.
Ooh.
280 AD, so mad long ago.
So Jesus was way dead.
Jesus was way dead, but way more alive than he's ever been, you know, for us at least. But 280 AD, it's traced back to this monk named Saint Nicholas, who was born in Patara near Myra in modern day Turkey.
So he was Turkish delight.
Yeah, this was a Turkish dude named Saint Nicholas, Turkish monk, named Saint Nicholas.
And now I know, but if other people for the rest of our ignorant buffoon listeners, the Turkish people, the Turks, if you will.
Yep. Young Turk and the rest.
Yeah, they, if I am correct in my thinking, are not the whitest.
Nah, they don't look like Santa Claus by any means. I think if we were going with a Turkish Santa Claus, he should have like a thick, dark mustache with no beard, and he should have like eyebrows that look like raccoon tails. And they
okay. Whoa.
Very thick eyebrows. And he should be holding like a sticker that said, "I voted for Dr. Oz." You know what I mean? That's a Turkish man. That's what
he
Santa
should
Claus
be driving your
like.
Uber.
That's not what I said.
Okay. I'm out of line. I'm out of line. Bushy
that's
eyebrows.
That's occupational. The eyebrows are objective. Every Turkish man, his eyebrows look like a jungle that you got to chop through to find a treasure.
Oh boy. Oh boy. This is on Christmas time. You do this? You pull this shit on Christmas?
I've only known conflict at Christmas. My homes weren't always the most stable.
Wasn't it nice having 2 Christmases though?
There were times where it was pretty fly. I'm not gonna lie, there'd be days where like you get like some dope shit at your mom's house, and then you just rub your hands together like, God damn, I ain't even finished yet. And it turns out you weren't. You get some more dope shit at my dad's, and I just sit there counting packs of basketball cards and fucking Resident Evil discs. You know what I mean? Just
were you ever like, thank God my parents aren't together?
That was more.
Is that too dark of a question?
No, I don't think I ever desired them together or apart. Like they got along well enough that like it wasn't, but it always felt like, hey, we're friends, we're cool, but it wasn't like, man, the chemistry in here is fucking rocking. You guys need to.
I could feel it.
Yeah, it was never that. It was always like, okay, the energy seems exactly right for a divorce. You seem perfectly content not being with each other. So I ain't gonna rock that boat.
But it's amicable.
Yeah, but nobody's making me tell the other person something they're not willing to say to their face kind of thing.
Right. All right. Well, that's good. That's pretty decent then.
Yeah, no, it was solid. So no, I didn't want them back together, nor did I like cheer at the divorce as much as I was like, damn, 2 Christmases, 2 holidays. It was Christmas.
Did you get 2 birthdays too?
I mean, yeah, but some of that didn't always pan out quite as effectively. I think because holidays are celebrated so separately, you find yourself getting more of like 2 things, whereas like birthdays are a little more just central you, so they sometimes team up to get you something and shit like that. You know what I mean?
So they're still a team.
Yeah, man, it worked out pretty good.
Tell me this research then. I want to know. Listen, we come from different types of broken homes. It's always interesting to hear other people's truths.
I think that's fair. So that said, Saint Nicholas was Turkish. He was known specifically for his kindness. He was kind of like this really
Kind of a
like
bitch.
You're in charge of the drops. It feels like there was meant to be one there.
I know. I was like, sometimes as many as we have, we need more.
Yeah.
We don't have one for every season yet. You know what I mean?
You got to be able to predict every reality. And right now we're only hitting a
50
few.
more drops.
But one time, this is sort of the kindness he was best known for. One time he saved 3 poor sisters. This is a legend, obviously, from being sold into slavery or prostitution by their father when he prevented them with, or he provided them with a dowry so that they could be married. He basically like paid their dowry so that they wouldn't have to.
He sold them to a different man?
Yeah, kind of. If you want to be all 2022 and woke about it.
That was not woke. I just said what happened.
My man St. Nicholas did the best he could for a 280 AD problem. And you're like, wake up. You're mistreating the women.
He paid their dowry, so does that mean they had to go with him? Because that's not.
I think the implication is that because he's a monk that he's not like collecting bitches as much as he is a dude who paid it off so that they could go do whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
If their dad was going to sell him into slavery, you don't think he would have just taken that and been like, I'm still selling these?
And listen, I don't doubt for a second that father didn't eventually sell them into slavery. I think that
we're
did
getting lost
happen.
in the weeds.
Don't take my response in any way as doubting that father didn't take advantage of a little extra change and some slaves. That said, I do think that Saint Nicholas's initial effort is an admirable one.
Also, if he was a monk, where did he get all that money?
That's a big question that I think I found myself asking and didn't want to dig further to find out, you know?
Yeah.
It feels like, you start finding out where monks get their money and you see some dark shit.
Yeah, I believe it, bro. I don't know what they're up to, but I don't trust them. Only what's under the robe? What's under the robe, bro? Take that robe off.
It's a little too flowy for my taste.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
So this Saint Nicholas, he becomes more and more popular, so popular that he becomes the patron saint of protecting children and sailors for some reason. It was children.
Those are two very different groups.
Yeah, I don't know why sailors are being treated with the same vulnerability as children.
Like one group needs protection from being sold into slavery or sex slavery. The other group needs protection from sailors. Like,
yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that grouping.
Yeah, it's a weird grouping. It feels like, you know, when in Congress, when they pass bills, but then they squeeze in a little extra or something that has nothing to do with that bill.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, this bill's going to make it so that that interracial marriages can happen. And also, it's going to make sure that Road 15 stays closed forever. And it's like, hey, what was that Road 15 shit? What?
Yeah, wait a second.
Hey, wait a minute. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And why do you want it closed so bad?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so he becomes this very popular patron saint. And over the years, his popularity spread until he became essentially the most popular saint in Europe, like more popular than all the other saints that were available. I don't know very many of them, but apparently they all suck dick compared to this dude, Saint Nicholas.
Is this while he was alive? He's alive in this? He's popping like that?
So he starts popping while he's alive, but it really takes off once he's dead. I think like a lot of things, it became a larger sort of like legend. It's sort of the Gandhi shit. You know what I mean? Where it's like Gandhi was popping when he was alive, but
people still knew that he like beat up women. Yeah,
and hated black people and shit. And once he died, it was like, oh, this dude is a saint. He can do no wrong.
Yeah, I'm ready to die.
Which is why he stopped eating.
Yeah, exactly. When I die, they'll forget everything I said about Wakanda forever. He had great taste in film.
So, over the years, his popularity spread. Now, what we now
Spread
understand
throughout Europe, even though
spread
he was
throughout
from
Europe.
Asia.
Yeah, technically, although, Turkey, I think, falls into that weird space where it's like kind of both. It's that Eurasia shit.
Yeah,
what I
when
mean?
it goes Far East, I can't quite tell. People look like they could be from either place.
Yeah, and they're real. It's a real nebulous zone of like, hey, who do y'all belong to? Because
Yeah.
white people are real mean to you, but not mean enough that it seems like they're like, you know what I mean, against you fundamentally.
Right.
It's more
Also,
just
they
like,
don't seem to be with us fundamentally either.
yeah, it's whose team y'all on?
Yeah, where are you playing? All right. Okay, so it spread throughout Europe when he
Spreads throughout Europe, but specifically, the celebration of his death, the anniversary of his death, becomes sort of the most popular acknowledgement of Saint Nicholas and his celebrity, right? And the celebration of his death is a feast day and traditionally considered a lucky day to make large purchases or get married. Those were sort of like the big things that you wanted to do on Saint Nicholas's feast day.
Those are only things I would imagine doing on bad day, but continue.
But that is essentially what Christmas is us just making insanely large purchases and justifying it by giving it to another person instead of ourselves.
Right. All right. So he was popping. He died. Now he's super popping. And we're celebrating his birthday every year.
Yeah, and so it actually doesn't, and this obviously all happens in the fucking early ADs and shit.
Right.
But
you say he died in 260?
280.
280, okay.
No, he was born in 280. He died, I assume, 15 years after. Yeah. I assume he died much younger than a man is supposed to die.
All right.
What's interesting is that like it's he becomes very popular. He's sort of known all around, whatever. But it doesn't actually start to gain traction in America. Like none of this actually even comes up or spreads like throughout the world, except Holland. Holland like stays real loyal to this shit all the way through. But Santa Claus didn't make it to America until December 1773.
Was that because of the Dutch?
I don't. Yes, it is because of the Dutch.
They were big into the slave trade, which is making me even more out on this whole thing. Fuck the Dutch.
Yeah, the Dutch, the classic slave owners, the Dutch. But in 1773 and 1774, when a New York newspaper basically reported that groups of Dutch families, you're right, had gathered to honor St. Nicholas, then known as Sinterklaas, on his death day.
So they had a block party in New York.
Yeah. They had a block party in New York, and then the New York Times wrote about it 2 years in a row, and suddenly we had Santa Claus.
Wait, no, that's a bridge too. No,
that's
when did he get
less,
the red sack in the elves?
Well, that's a slightly different answer, right? So yes, I am not pulling back when I say that is how we got Santa Claus. Here is more or less these Dutch families throwing a block party. Now, what I will also say is that their depiction of Sinterklaas is not in any way a reflection of the current Santa that we have today. It's not the jolly fat man with the hat and all of that shit.
Just like a thin Dutchman smoking a cigarette
with just thick shoes, very thick, very wooden shoes.
That's the Turkish guy hitting the hookah, huh?
He's got a polo shirt tucked in his belt. You know the vibes.
But not real polo, U.S. Polo Association. By the way, also this holiday season, watch out, guys. That U.S. Polo Association,
it'll get you.
Fooling anybody, man.
It'll get you, big dog.
We all know.
You don't want to get mixed up with that kind of stuff, man.
Sport or nothing, man. Don't be like that.
Yeah, don't You ain't got to do all that. And listen, there are a lot of affordable polo options available to you. I don't know if they're a sponsor of this episode, but I pray that polo is, and I pray looking damn good if you ask me.
That's
I pray
orange.
that polo is, and I pray that U.S. Polo Association is not.
Yeah, I'm going on the record as being fully anti-U.S. Polo Association.
Thank God. What if I found out you were into that and that ended the show forever?
It would be a lot like when I found out you were into Mountain Dew. I would think odd.
You keep saying
and
that.
we would move on.
You keep saying that, but I'm not into Mountain Dew. I was into Mountain Dew.
I think that if you had no concern for your health nor well-being, you would still be into Mountain Dew. Is that a correct assessment? You want it. You want it. You want that green goodness inside of you. Look at
Come
you.
on, man.
Look at your lips shaking. You see all these new flavors. That's got to be hell for you.
It's just a very specific taste that nobody else has been able to replicate.
That's got to be like a heroin addict walking back under the bridge when you walk past the 7-Eleven cooler with all the new shit. You got to hide your baby's eyes.
I think the Dew has done right by a bunch of us, you know?
Us is what he says. Listen to the words, people.
Yeah, brothers and sisters. My dewy brothers and sisters. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Don't the do. That's the new motto. Don't the do.
You can
will lead you astray.
Don't be scared of it.
But I'm saying in a vacuum, you're a bachelor right now. You have nothing to live for.
Yeah.
Are you still on the do?
I think I would partake every once in a while. But I don't think, let me be clear, I don't think I would prefer it over like every other soda. I think it just would make it into a fucking,
Oh, interesting. You don't think it would be the go-to?
No, I think it would just be a part of a rotation. I think I'd fuck around with some Dr. Pepper. I think I'd buy vanilla Cokes. Like, I think I'd be a very different man.
Is that a very different man?
Yeah, no.
Is that different? You just drinking?
All I drink is water now. I haven't had a soda in years. I'm constantly worried that like every choice I'm making is gonna kill me. And if I had no responsibilities and didn't give a fuck about vanity, I'd eat honey buns and Mountain Dew and drink Mountain Dew and learn to skateboard at 35. I wouldn't give a fuck.
Skateboard? I did not see that. Oh, I mean, that's the Dew influence.
That's that Dew, baby.
Yeah, extreme. It was the first extreme soda. Oh man.
Well, here's what I think we should do, because we didn't even warn our listeners ahead of time, but this is going to be a 2-part episode. We're going to spend a little bit longer talking shit about old Black Santa, nigga Saint Nick.
That's not what I'm doing.
And so I think we're going to take another break, and possibly this is maybe the end of this episode, and then we'll come back to a new episode, continued, where we talk more about Black Santa. So more David, more Langston, and more My Mama Told Me.